It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, if you need a hand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. Just might have a problem that you'll understand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Yeah. Oh, 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 somebody to lean on. Yeah.
It's 10 minutes past 5 p.m. and you're tuned to Lagoon Radio, broadcasting live from Marina, Lagos. And guess what? You know what show it is. And, well, unfortunately, it's not the voice of your regular host. Your host is unavoidably absent. But yeah, trust me, she left you in safe hands. And this is Tineke Johnson, and I'll be your host for the Travel with Me program today. And yeah, I know you might be wondering where we're traveling to today, but yeah. Just to bust your bubbles, we're just gonna be talking about rules guiding rules you observe while traveling to other countries. Basically, observing other countries' rule while on a trip. Like what rules is guarding a particular country. We need to know all these things before choosing to travel to that location, that destination, to avoid stories that touch. Yeah, so let's go on this quick music break. And when we are back, we'll be going straight into the business of the day.
Just as long
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Just as long as you stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Just as long as you stand by me.
Yes, still the Travel With Me show with Tinu. And yeah, today we'll be talking about rules guarding traveling to a particular location. Like what rules guard a particular place when traveling? What should I consider? What should I put at art? What should I think about? What comes to mind first? First, you think about currency, you think about the culture, you think about the weather. Yeah, it's one of those things. And also rules, different locations with their different rules, with their different, should I say constitutions? Yeah, it depends. And also, religion is something very, very important that we need to consider. We can't just leave it out. And dress sense, yeah, even the way we dress sometimes also determines where we're going to. All right, so there's this quote by Saint Ambrose which says, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Nigeria, do as the Nigerians do. When in America, do as the Americans do." Yeah, it's 14 minutes past 5 p.m. And you're still tuned to Lagoon Radio, broadcasting live from the Diocesan Palace here in Marina. Yeah, it's still the Travel With Me show with Tinu. And yeah, we're going to do justice to the topic rules guarding particular location when we travel. Travelers usually wish to respect people, their culture, and the environments they are visiting because it leaves impression of the culture you're visiting. Take for instance, you're going to a place like Ghana, you're traveling to Ghana where the culture they are very rich in culture. You know, one of the things you consider is that oh, Ghana has beautiful places, they have rich food, they have a respectable culture, and also they have history. Yeah, they have a history, that is so dear to them. So when you visit Ghana, you probably want to learn one or two things from them, and you can't just behave like a Westerner in Ghana because Ghana is in Africa, right? Yeah. So yeah, today we're talking about the history of a particular place you're going to visit, your dressing. You should know when to dress. Yeah, an instance I would give is like you traveling to this Middle East country, Saudi Arabia, where it is a Muslim dominated country. And so you can't go there without covering your hair because it is their culture and it is assumed that most pilgrims that come there come to come to worship, yeah, basically, because it is believed that the Muslims cover their hair while going around, and they don't expose their body, so they are on their overall probably use a scarf that covers their neck as a woman, and even a man wears something longer, yeah, and covers his hair. There's this thing they use, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that's their culture, and that is how they dress. So you're going into a Muslim country, that is their room. Also going to places like the holy city, as talking about Rome, talking about Greece, talking about those places, that you should be coordinated. You shouldn't wear clothes that would expose your body and all. Also, traveling to a particular country holds up to you knowing their means of transport. There are places where you're not allowed to take private. In fact, you don't even have a private car because you're visiting the place probably for the first time. So you should go through their public means of transportation. Well, there might be rules guarding their train system. That's the railway system. There are rules guarding their air aircraft, their airplane, whatever. There are rules guarding their motto, yeah, their car, their motorcycles if they have. So you should know where and where. Okay, if you're going through this route, what you need to do. Hope you're not going to obstruct traffic. Hope you're not going to do. These are things we consider when visiting another country because these your rules, your own country rules doesn't like govern their own rules. Your own country rules ends in your local airports, basically. So when you leave the shores of your country, moving into another country makes it a total different thing. Like it's a new world entirely. And also there are some countries rather, I don't know why I'm saying cultures. There are some countries whereby the female have a particular time they go out. They don't just move out. You as a female, you're entering the country for probably the first time and then you want to tour around the country. So I feel the first thing you should do is ask, or probably you need a tour guide. Okay, this is where and where I want to go. I probably want to see around. So the person might tell you, oh, this time it is strictly prohibited for a female to walk around this time. Okay, so this is the time you're allowed, you're permitted to move around. This is the time you're permitted to do this, but time you're permitted to do that. So that is the work of a tour guide. And also, you don't just enter places when traveling to a country, like probably for the first time. You don't just go to places. Oh, you see the inscription, this is a temple, and okay, you just want to explore, you just want to see how the place is. You need to ask, you need to take permissions. And even there's some that it is offensive for you to take photographs of their artifacts. Basically, you don't need to. You really don't need it because they feel it is against their tradition. Probably, yeah. I remember in Nigeria, the first time I visited the first story building, and we're going to take some pictures inside. We're inside the building. I was quite small. I was still in primary school then. So I think my teacher was going to take some pictures of the building. Oh, old coins, some artifacts basically. And our tour guide said, no, 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 you don't do that. It's not allowed. It's so things like that. This is why I can relate because I'm in Nigeria and it's somewhere in Nigeria. But someone coming from another country might not be able to relate with it. So therefore, you might be penalized. That okay, maybe the first time you've been warned, and the second time you might be penalized, and you might not even have that grace to be, you know. So these are things we consider why visiting a new place. Oh yeah, like I said, photography, like people photography of people involved in an attraction is generally like okay, but sometimes it is illegal in some places. So it might look offensive to you, but they don't like it. They don't like it. So yeah. So some governments are distinctly paranoid and may consider such photos a threat to national security. Wow. Wow. Also, when you visit a place for the first time, you need to totally adhere to all their rules. What do I mean by this? They have law enforcement agencies, right? They might not look like the last one we have here in Nigeria. They might not look like the road safety we have here in Nigeria and the likes. But here you see uniformed men, even if they are not in uniform, they probably have tags that you'll be able to relate to. Oh, this person is a public officer, so I should respect this person. And if you have questions, you can walk up to them and ask them instead of going against their rules. Because the way they would penalize you and the way they will punish you might be so tough and might be different from how they punish their fellow citizen. So these are things we also take into consideration. And also another thing is when you're traveling into a new country, you need to be mindful of your speech. You don't just form conversations and whereby one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you begin to talk about racism, and to you it might just be you being neutral, contributing your opinions, but it might hurt the person you're speaking with, and besides, you don't even know this person. Really, you don't know this person, you're just meeting this person probably for the first time. So you need to be careful of whatever you are saying and your opinions, because it's not your country, they are not your family, they are not your relatives, so they might not be able to relate with your sense of thinking. Your mindsets are quite different, and probably your view would be totally different because it's a whole new world. Yeah. Moving forward, there are there are histories. Yeah, being interested in the history of a country you're traveling to is actually a good thing, but it could be very very sensitive at times. Yeah, it could be very very sensitive at times. For instance, you're visiting a place for the first time, and then you're like, oh, okay, I actually heard of this. Maybe when I was younger, and so and so told me this story about this country, and told me that, oh, this country was enslaved by this country, so and so and so and so. Conversations like this are quite sensitive, and you don't know who you're speaking with. You don't know who is listening to you. You don't know who you're speaking with. I would go and relate with someone of higher authority that might not just I might just feel like, oh, what's this person saying? I mean, we need to track that person down. That person is a spy on us or something. So these are things we put into consideration. Also, when you're traveling into another country, there are some foods that are probably prohibited right there. There's some foods that, they are not allowed, basically. Like, okay, I know of some Nigerians that when they're traveling to probably America, for example, they might want to go with this herbal concussion that we call agbujedi. Like okay, because they know that, oh, they are going to eat a lot of sweet sugary foods and all. So just to be on the safer side, and they feel the concussion will help them take off all detox probably and take off all the unnecessary sugar, everything. So in some countries, things like that is referred to as should I say is it's just contraband basically. It's not allowed. It's not allowed at all. Countries like Australia, they are very strict with their travel rules. They are very strict. Off air, I was talking to my colleague about one of my uncle that traveled to Australia. Like he actually moved, relocated from UK to Australia, and he's been in UK for quite a number of years. And then he already has his stuff there. He has many things he could actually take and just ship them down to Australia and just move on from there. But the rules Australian government gave was that don't come with anything. Just come with your family and few clothes. In fact, few clothes. And it was just like him coming to start a new life there. If he wants to get maybe he wants to set up his house, he needs to get bed, get chair, get everything, pot, everything. Like it's just going to start again. Just like him starting from the beginning. So stuff like that, if you're traveling to that place and they don't allow you bringing food. Yeah. The one that even came to my memory now is food. It was not allowed to bring any foodstuffs at all. So you're going to start, even if you cannot tolerate their food. That is the beginning of it. You need to learn because they don't allow you bringing things to their country. You're not bringing any powdered stuff. You're not bringing any flour. You're not bringing anything. So yeah, so let's quickly go on a music break, and when we return, we will continue in our gist about rules we should consider before traveling to a particular location.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
Isn't it funny how time seems to slip away so fast? 1 minute you're happy, the other you're sad. But if you give me one more chance to show my love for you, it's true. I'll stand by your side your whole life through. If life is so short, why won't you let me love you before we run out of time? If love is so strong, why won't you take the chance before our time has come? If life is so short, if life is so short,
This is Lagoon Radio.
love is a word.
Yeah, if life is so short, have fun, enjoy to the fullest, and just have fun, positive vibes only. Yeah, that's one of my goals. Like positive vibes only. Don't pull up negativity here. Nah, it's not tolerated. Yeah, still the travel with me show. It's in noon, and we're talking about rules we should consider before traveling to a particular destination. You know, while I was off air, I just remembered something. I remembered a friend of mine that went to Turkey. Yeah, she traveled to Turkey. She was going to study there. And then she got there. It was just one of our random gists. And she was like, this one was so funny because she wanted to buy a bottle of milk. Yeah, a bottle of milk. Because their own is not tin, it is a bottle. And then everything was written in Turkish language. The description, everything, the name, the title, the registration, everything was, so she could not relate with it. This is being very simple. Like she actually even going to the store alone, they welcomed her with their language. It wasn't even like, oh, there's someone that could actually interpret or some. I guess she went to the deep part of Turkey. And then instead of getting a bottle of milk, she was given a bottle of shampoo. Like she was given shampoo instead of. And she didn't even know. Like she was innocent. She didn't know. She paid for it. She carried it home. And then a friend came visiting. And that one has been there for 4 months before she came in. So she had actually learned one or two things. And I saw it on her table and she was like, hey, what's up? What's this? And she was like, oh, she just got the milk and she's like, hope you've not opened it. She said, no. She said, this is not milk, this is shampoo. Like, no, she paid for it. She asked for it. She said no. So she now told her that, okay, if you're going shopping, you need to get this app, a Google Translator app. So you scan what you're going to get and then it translates it for you. So that is when you know when you're buying soap from when you're buying milk. And so that's one thing that we should also consider. When you're going to places where their language dominates everything, both food, everything, the inscriptions, everything. There's no English, something that you can relate to it. You need to be careful because what if she had actually taken the milk, the shampoo. Well, probably at some point in time should have discovered anyway through the smell, but she just kept it and you're like, oh, later in the day she would take it and all. So things like this we need to consider before, yeah. And also you need to know the food because it will be quite sad if you're traveling to a place for the first time and you don't like their food, you didn't bring anything like to substitute for their food, and nah. That's really going to hurt you so much. Maybe you're going to starve or you're going to fast throughout, one of the two. Or you probably take water throughout your stay. But honestly, you need to know the type of food they prepare, and if you can relate with it, fine. If you can't, don't risk it. Don't risk it. So before you go into the country, let me run through all what I've said earlier. Before you visit a country, you need to learn about their currency. You need to learn about their dressing. You need to know their culture, their places of worship. You need to know their language. You need to understand their history. And also, you need to know about taking photographs. Like, is it right to take photographs? Is it legal? Is it illegal? Is it prohibited? Is it not? We need to know. I would also refer back, and as I wrap up the show, I would like to refer back to St. Ambrose's quote that says, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Nigeria, behave like a Nigerian. When in America, behave like an American. Because America is quite cold. If you are there, don't go and wear sleeveless. Because it's hot in Nigeria and you're gonna freeze. So, know this and know peace. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for joining us on the Travel With Me show. I am your host, Tineke Johnson. Till we come your way next week, because probably I'll be hosting with Able Abby next week. So, we can't wait to have you on board. Come one, come all. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. So, tune in to Lagoon Radio and follow us on all our social media platforms. Bye.
This is Lagoon Radio.
The Memorial 2021. Glory to our ever faithful God who has put everything in place to honor and deliver us as we call on Him. It is time again for our 21-day fasting and prayer convention in the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. Join our diocesan and missioner, the Right Reverend Dr. Humphrey Bamichebi and Professor Motunrayo Olumakaiye, and other men of God as they lead the entire diocese from the 1st of August to the 21st of August 2021 to seek the face of our God again to deliver our land from disasters and all forms of evil. Theme: I will deliver and honor Him. Psalm 91 verse 15. All parishes in the Diocese of Lagos will hold hold intensive prayer sessions from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. every day for the first 19 days. Meeting point for Friday 20th August and Saturday 21st August is Archbishop Adebola and Mrs. Oluronti Ademowo Christian Resource Center, Faith Plaza, Bariga, Lagos for Bible Conference and Prayer Convention, respectively. Time is 12 noon daily. Jesus is Lord.